All right, so let's do a little change of pace today and do some, I don't know, I guess you'd call it like a media upgrade. As most of you have seen, if you've watched my videos before, this is kind of my dad's den, I guess we could call it. I mean, most people would call it a man cave, but that always seemed like it was code word for a dude's butthole, so I'm going to stick with dad's den. But yeah, this is just my spare bedroom. The desk I'm sitting at right now is where I do my drone stuff, and obviously my video recordings and the stuff what I do with the bench. I got my recliner over there. I got my TV and all my gaming systems over there, and some other bull crap that my wife doesn't like hanging on the wall, but she never comes in here, so her opinion doesn't matter. Got a spare bed in the back there where I end up sleeping when I snore too much, and yeah, this is my little hideaway spot that I like to retreat to when I need a little time alone. Basically, what we're going to do today, we're going to do a soundbar. I just bought this TV like I guess about a month ago, and as with most of these flat panel thin TVs, it's the sound sucks on them, and for some reason Hollywood with their sound mixers now, and when they do the things, you can't hear the dialogue, and apparently a soundbar will help that out. So we're not going to get too deep into that. I'm just mention it basically is because I'm going to be putting the bracket on that as I'm doing the rest of this video. So yeah, we got that going on, and what this video is actually about is we're going to put ambient lighting on that TV. Now, ambient lighting used to be something that some TVs actually came with it. I don't really think they do that anymore, but I always liked it, and kind of wanted it, and I think that'd be cool for like watching movies in here in the dark, which I tend to do a lot. It'd be kind of cool for video games. Apparently that's something popular that the gamer kids like to do, and I like to do occasionally myself, is play video games. And yeah, we'll set that up. So what we got this Sengled ambient lighting system. I was going to go with the company, what's that, Govee, G-O-O-V-E-E. They seem to be the more popular one for the more budget-friendly ambient lighting setups. And yeah, for some reason, the size above, that's a 50-inch TV. Yeah, it's a 50-inch TV. And from 55 to 75 was cheaper than the one for the smaller TV, and I couldn't see any reason for that aside from, I mean, it was the same exact components, just had a shorter LED strip, and like I said, I couldn't see the reason for that being more expensive aside from that maybe these TVs are more popular. The size TV is more popular, and they figure they can charge more for it. And yeah, homie don't play that, so I went with this company here. To be clear, this company sends out tons of these to people like me for free to review. I bought this myself. I mean, the cost of buying this is worth it for me to be able to put it up there, and if it sucks, to tell you about it. So yeah, that's where I'm standing at right now. As far as what comes in the box, you get your LED light tape, some adhesive things. Well, I guess that'll be in the instructions. We'll take a look at that. And then you get a 12-volt power supply, which is right here, and then you get a camera that you hang on top of the TV. This is so the this camera actually sees what's the colors that are going on the TV, and then translates that and sticks them accordingly to the light strip in the back, and then shines the ambient light behind the TV. This is the whole controller for the unit. It looks like the LEDs plug into here, and the power supply plugs into here, and there's actually a little plastic thing on that camera, which I'm sure if you don't remove it, it's going to screw everything up, so I'm going to take that off now. I guess too with this camera, I mean, maybe some dude in China can watch me scratch my balls while I watch Breaking Bad reruns, but yeah, that's just the world we live in today. So yeah, I guess all we got to do now is pull that TV off the wall and get to work. I'll read as little as the instructions as I can get away with, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, we got the TV loose, and that's ready to pull off the wall. One thing I did notice, my Transformers cartoon retro picture here might have to go down. I think it's sitting there is going to take away from the effect of things. For For those of you who don't know, back in the 80s, this was a hot cartoon, and if you watched Transformers the animated movie and you didn't cry when Optimus Prime died, you didn't have a soul, because that shit was sad. So, yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to find another spot for this. Alright, so we started off with some denatured alcohol. I like to use denatured alcohol when I'm cleaning plastic because it doesn't react with plastic, and when it dries clean, so there's no residue left behind. So we cleaned all that up nice and good. I cut some painter's tape to the same length as the light ribbon, I guess we'll call it, and did a quick layout just to kind of see what about we were looking at as far as length goes. Then after I did that, I just measured in 4 inches from either corner, laid it out, then I dry fitted it before I took the double-sided tape off the back of the ribbon light here, or LED strip. We'll call it LED strip. Yeah, so I dry fitted it just to, you know, make sure all my stuff looked good, and then I just ran it. They do say when you get to the corners, you're not supposed to do a hard 90-degree angle on these with a bend, because it's basically just ribbon wire, and if you do a hard 90, I guess you could probably break the connections in there. They want you to do this goofy loop-the-loop, but I think this way's better, because it just, I mean, it doesn't sit flat, but neither did the loop-de-loop, and at least, you know, the LED's shining in the right direction. Yeah, so you just do that, came around, and yeah, stuck it on there. Seems all right. I got 4 LEDs over here, which had to overlap. Normally I would just cut this, but I don't know, because these are addressable LEDs, so I don't know if that's going to screw anything up, so I just kind of extended it over there. If it screws up the effect, I'll just put black tape over it and be done with it, but I think we'll be okay. So yeah, now we just got to go in, install the soundbar, and once we get it back up on the wall mount there, this kind of just sticks in the middle there, which is kind of nice. There's a screw there for alignment I could use, and yeah, that just double-sided tapes up on the top there, and it should be ready to set it up. Again, they used really nice tape. They usually cheap out on these LED strips with cheaper double-sided tape, but yeah, this tape is actually really nice. It's 3M tape, which is a known good brand, so it's nice that they didn't cheap out on that. So yeah, let's get the soundbar mounted, and then we'll throw it back up on the wall. Alright, that was a little fiddly, but it wasn't too bad. I didn't even have to look at the instructions, so there's a bonus. So yeah, let's go throw it back up on the wall. I will note, you should never run an extension cord through your wall. I just did that for this video, and I plan on fixing it the correct way sometime never in the future. But yeah, I mean, even if you check, you know, the current draw of the items that you're plugged into, you still shouldn't do it. So keep that in mind. All right, we got the TV back up here on the wall. Got to plug everything in, do a little bit of cable management here, but it's pretty good. I did mount the camera, just centered it in the middle of the TV. It's funny trying to spend all that money on that spy balloon, and all you got to do is just sell American shiny LEDs, and they'll put a camera right in the room for you. Here you go. So yeah, let me get everything little tweaking with the sound bar and all the cables managed and everything, and then we'll go in and, you know, set this crap up, see how it works. All right, so it's a few days later, and the reason I waited a little while is because when I first set it up, I wasn't quite 100% sold on what I was seeing, and I also wasn't sure if it was something in the settings that I didn't do right, so I gave myself some time to play with it, and it actually did get better. I will say that extra overlap, I did cover that with electrical tape in that corner over there. I don't think it made that much of a difference, but I could tell when it was doing its thing, there was 2 different colors on that strip. So I just covered it up, and like I said, I really can't tell that much of a difference, but I did it anyway. So here we go. First off, you could see with the white, you know, let me turn the lights off. You kind of get a better sense of what's going on here. And I will say too that this system seems to work better when the light in the room is lower, and that's probably got something to do with the camera up there. Another thing I noticed with this, which was I think my mistake from the beginning, when I first set it up, I had the brightness set to 100% because, I mean, you know, set it to 11, that's better. And it seemed like the colors were just getting washed out, like it wasn't really doing what it was supposed to be doing. And as I played with it, I found that if I turn it down to like 20, 25, 30%, as far as the brightness goes, it worked a lot better. Now, another thing I noticed with this, you can see right now we got a white screen, but the colors around it are kind of leaning to the blue side. I don't know why it does that, because the LEDs are capable of making white color, but for some reason it always seems to default to that bluish color. And you can also see down there by the sound bar, it's kind of a yellowish tint. I don't know why it does that, but I mean, it's all right. So I got this color test, ambient color test thing I found on YouTube. We'll go ahead and play that, and then there's a second video where there's more motion in it, and you could kind of get a better sense of what's going on with it. All right, so we'll hit play. Get rid of that. So now this is just going to run through the colors, and you can see it actually does a pretty decent job with matching the colors. And I noticed you got the TV mode, and then you got the game mode. For some reason, the game mode seems to work better. I don't know why. It just seems to represent what's going on in the screen a little bit better. And once it goes through the color cycle, you'll actually start seeing it move like it is right here. And you can see how it's kind of kicking around the TV there. And yeah, I mean, for this, it actually works pretty good, to be honest with you. It looks like it's matching what's going on in the TV better. And like I said, I don't know why, but it seems like the game mode just works better. I don't know. You would think the TV mode would work better, but, and again, if it seems like if it doesn't know what color it is, it just kind of defaults to blue, which I don't 100% like that much. All right, so let's switch to another video, another YouTube video, and kind of gives you a little bit more motion. All right, now this one is just these liquid style things just bursting everywhere, and you can see it actually does a pretty decent job with it as far as matching the speed. Another thing too, I noticed with the TV mode, it seems like the color transitions are a little bit softer as compared to game mode. Like game mode, it's more instant, which I personally like better. But yeah, I mean, it's doing its thing. So you know what, let me fire up the Xbox, and then we'll get some actual live action, and we'll see how that we'll see how it handles that. All right, so we're about to load into Battlefield 2042. It's kind of a blue screen, so the blue background makes sense. Let's kind of skip ahead while EA decides to load it up. All right, we'll put a little sound on it, and let's do a little bit of co-op shoot some bots up. Let's just do that. Turn that down a little bit. Alright, so let's run in, see if we can find some bots to kill. But you can see the bottom there, it's kind of green looking. Top's kind of blue. Now if I come over to this here trailer, see it kind of makes a little, everything kind of red tint. Which is kind of cool. I'm going to come over here to this little crane here. Really doesn't do too much with that. That's a tank. Got nothing for him. I'm gonna come over to this drum here. You see, it's kind of matching that color of the drum. It's like you really got to be close on it for it to really closely match the color that you're looking at. Yeah, so you kind of get the sense of what's going on with this. I said, I come over here. It's really not doing too good with that color. It kind of pushes to red when it's more of a burgundy color, I would say. And again, with this yellow container over here, like you got to be on it for it to really catch the color and put it on the back of the wall. And again, when it's a color that it doesn't really, when it's not a definite color, it just seems to default to blue, which I kind of wish it didn't do that. I'd rather it just not do anything, or make it white would be even nicer. Headshot, there you go. Oh, they finally got me. Let's look at this actual blue color over here. Which, I mean, it should do, because it seems like that's the color it wants to make everything. Alright, let's come over to this green container, see how it handles that. And it doesn't want to really make the screen or the ambient green. Alright, well, that's about it for the gameplay. Like I said, it seems alright. It's a cool little effect, as far as I can see. Again, you don't want to turn it up too bright, because if you do, it blows out the thing. And it also kind of strains your eyes a little bit while you're playing, if the backlight is way too bright. There we go. All right, well, we've seen this stuff. Let's start off with the LG soundbar. That is a 400 watt, I think it's 3-channel with a subwoofer. It's wireless, so you don't have to worry about running wires from the soundbar down to the subwoofer. I got LG just because I have an LG TV, and I figure that would help everything hook up seamlessly. I mean, it might have been, if I got a Samsung with it, it might have been the same thing, but I don't like futzing with things, and I figured, you know, and LG's a decent brand name for TVs and stuff like that, so I figure it was safe. It has the HDMI eARC, or HDMI eARC, or just HDMI ARC. I'm not sure why they got different names for it, but it just basically makes your HDMI cable a two-way communication, so your soundbar takes over for your TV volume. You just plug your HDMI into the soundbar and plug the HDMI output from the soundbar to the TV, and the TV just figures it out. It shuts the sound off, and then you're good to go. Yeah, and like I said, when I first hooked it up, I was just like, meh, it kind of sounds better, you know? And then after 3 days of using it, I turned the soundbar off and went back to the TV sound, and it sounded like balls. So It's just a lot better compared to it, and compared to the sound coming out of the TV. And I've had the flat panel TVs for years now. I've always used their sound, and I don't think I could ever go back. And the nice thing about that too is that if I go to another TV, I still have the soundbar that I could hook up to the new TV, and yeah, I'm sure it'll last forever. It's just a speaker, for God's sake. What could possibly go wrong with it? Now, on to the LEDs. First of all, if you have this, or you want to do this yourself and you want to test it, I'll link the videos that I used for the test color pinwheels and all that jazz in the description of the video. I will say it looks better in person than it does on film. I've edited up to this point, and you can see right here, I could point to it right there, that little white strip right there on the TV, and that little white strip down there in the corner. I don't see that in person. The camera, just when it gets too light, it just blows out to white. And that being said, as far as hookups go for it, I was going to go through a tutorial on how to do it through the whole thing, but it's so simple, you don't need me to do it. The only problem I had was connecting it to my Wi-Fi. I keep saying I don't know why. But yeah, connecting it to my Wi-Fi, but that was more of an Apple thing, because Apple products are great as long as you only use them with other Apple products, and it was just giving me problems. But once I got it hooked up, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a little, once you get it up, it shows it takes a picture of your screen, and then you kind of put the lines to the borders, and you're good to go. And then you have the settings. It's got other display things where you could like have Christmas. It's dumb. The only thing you want is this, to be honest with you. But again, like I said, I don't know why, but it seems like the game mode for the ambient light works better than the television mode for the ambient light. Opinions may differ, but that's where it is. And I said it before, if you're watching it against a wall like this, I'd recommend lowering it down to, I would say, 20 to 30% seems to be the sweet spot. 100%, I believe that camera up at the top there just starts actually picking up the glow of itself, and it starts feedbacking on itself, and the colors just look like crap. If you're not using it on a wall mount like I got, then you're kind of like on a TV stand or an entertainment center, and you're pushed away from the wall, you probably could bump it up and you would be fine. And I think that's probably why they give you the extra power in case you're further away from the wall, so it still has the power to splash against the wall. So, yeah, there's that. What else do I got there? Anything I'm missing? Oh, yeah, price for this. These things range between, I've seen them as cheap as $40 and as much as a few $100s. I kind of got to step up from the cheapest ones. And like I said, for what it is, it gives me the effect. I don't know if maybe the other ones are better. I kind of, if I'm buying something I don't know about, and like I said, these things are reviewed by people who are given to them all the time, so it's hard to find a real honest review on it. And yeah, like I said, it does its thing. It has the effect for the games. It's nice, and for movies, it's real nice. You know, you turn the lights down, you kind of got that little splash of light on the wall. Kind of brings you a little bit more into the movie. And yeah, like I said, that's about it for it. It's okay. Let's just put it that way. So I think that's it for this video. Any questions, you could drop them down in the thing. If you have a better one than the one I got, let me know. Maybe at some point in time I'll upgrade to that and put this on a different TV. And yeah, like I said, it's all right. I mean, I'm not blown away by it, but I'm getting the effect that I was buying. So yeah, so that's it. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.